What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and for those of you that have been wanting to get a fourth federal level stimulus check, say of $2,000, well, it's looking like there's a bigger push happening right now to try to get those out. Take a look. Articles coming out like this. Lawmakers and business leaders begin to raise alarms about the dwindling federal aid as the Omicron cases are rising across the United States. And today, actually, President Joe Biden is supposed to address the nation as we're seeing the new wave coming from the pandemic of this Omicron variant. Now, take a look, you guys. The White House is monitoring the situation, noting that the existing programs in the American Rescue Plan, they should help kind of weather any immediate economic headwinds, but we're hearing a lot of members of Congress disagree. And they're saying, no, we need to pass another package and Americans need more checks. Take a look, you guys. Now, I'm going to dive into this article in more detail, but very quickly, I'm going to push to get another package through Congress, said Representative Jamaal Bowman, and we heard him just recently say, yes, not Build Back Better, another stimulus reconciliation bill that is going to include also all the provisions of the past that we still need but don't have in Build Back Better. Take a look, you guys. Some of the more generous government initiatives, from stimulus checks to expanded unemployment payments that expired months ago. Those are some of the things that they'd like to get in this next stimulus reconciliation bill. Now, I will keep you up to date. I'm going to get you all the details on what we're hearing coming out right now on this new push. And also, we're hearing that there's a lot of members around the United States of states, cities, and counties that are getting their own stimulus checks, as finally, states, cities, and counties are starting to pull that $350 billion that was allocated to them in the American Rescue Plan, and they're starting to finally, now in December, pass their own stimulus packages, and in some cases, their own stimulus checks. And I let you know in the last video of several cities and states that are passing monthly reoccurring checks to lucky eligible residents in those cities and states and counties. And take a look, you guys. We're hearing, though, on a federal level, people are saying that's not good enough. We need it for everybody in the nation. And there is a fourth stimulus check update of monthly $2,000 petition that is 15,000 signatures away from hitting 3 million supporters, you guys. So there is not only members of Congress, but also many people around the nation saying we need more financial aid. We need monthly reoccurring $2,000 stimulus checks. So you guys, I'm going to be diving into these articles, getting you caught up on the latest as to what's going on right now with this new push. But before we dive in, just wanted to also say thank you so much for all the support on that second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's maybe starting over, you want to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, maybe launch a business, learn about real estate, stocks, cryptos, what's going on in the metaverse right now, then that is going to be the channel for you. And all you got to do, I'll pin a comment down below, is click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications, and when I launch closer towards the new year, there's going to be a lot of content on there that I think is going to help out a lot of people. Really excited about it, you guys. But right now, let's get you caught up on stimulus checks. And let's start off by smashing the like button. Just takes a second. Really helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free and easy to do. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Best way by far to get a hold of me directly. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and dive into these articles and get you caught up on the new concerns and the new push for stimulus checks. All right, you guys, so we're going to be taking a look at congressional support for a fourth check here in just a second. But first, take a look at this. That petition for monthly reoccurring checks is just about at 3,015,000 signatures shy. An online petition that began in 2020, calling for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks for every American during the pandemic, is now a tad shy of a goal of 3 million signatures. Saturday night, it sat at 2,984,500 signatures. And with the Omicron variant of the pandemic running rampant, record numbers of people are catching the pandemic again, we're hearing, even if you've been vaccinated. That's right, we're hearing that this new variant has very different mutations that can evade vaccinations. And sports leagues are getting hit hard by this virus as well, and calls for another round of stimulus checks could grow louder with this new Omicron variant. And we're hearing that it is, that people are saying, listen, we are not done with this battle with the pandemic, and people still need aid and support and financial financial assistance, it's time to get out a fourth federal level stimulus check. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And now, with everything going on with Omicron, we're hearing that members of Congress are starting to get on board as well. Take a look, you guys. Link in the description below to this article that recently came out that says the swift arrival of the new Omicron variant has rekindled economic anxieties in Washington, as well as congressional lawmakers, business leaders, and consumer advocates begin to worry whether there is enough federal aid to shield Americans from another round of financial despair. Over the course of nearly 2 years, this pandemic has been raging on, and Congress has committed nearly $6 trillion towards combating the contagion and bringing the battered economy back from the brink. But some of the most significant programs to keep businesses afloat and help out households to pay their bills have expired or run out of funds, such as unemployment extensions, stimulus checks, raising new risks for future of the country's recovery, particularly as the Omicron variant wave begins to take hold right now. And we're hearing that we have hit new highs in various states, and the cases, the daily count is starting to increase by quite a bit. And take a look at this recent statement from Senator Ron Wyden, who said, "I'm concerned that you're going to have many vulnerable Americans with children, for example, falling between the cracks. January looks like it's going to be a tough month with respect to Omicron. But we're also hearing that the Delta and Omicron variants are threatening a new overwhelm of the economy and the public health system alike. Again, storefronts and schools, they're closing. Restaurants are limiting their services. Sports leagues are postponing their games, and travel and tourism are facing mass disruptions at the height of a busy holiday season. And as the country is entering this new, more uncertain phase of the pandemic, a significant swath of federal aid targeting workers and businesses has already been spent, according to Mark Goldwein, Senior Vice President for the Committee of a Responsible Federal Budget, which tracks the government spending. By the organization's estimate, roughly $4.9 trillion of the $5.7 trillion in emergency aid authorized by Congress since the start of the pandemic has been spent or obligated already. So we're hearing that even though there has been all this money that has gone out, we're hearing it's already almost all been spent. And we're still battling the pandemic, making the argument we need more stimulus. Now, one of the largest swaths of aid that we're hearing is still available is that $350 billion that was set aside for states, cities, and counties in the American Rescue Plan passed back in March of 2021. And that is why now, in December, finally, we're getting all of these state, city, and county stimulus checks as they're finally starting to access those funds and pass their own stimulus packages, and in many cases, their own stimulus checks. And we're getting updates on those all the time. And as those pop up, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel so that way you might know what's available to you in the form of a stimulus check from a city, county, or a state. Now, the government does not publish regular timely updates on exactly how much of that money remains, but an estimate from the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities this month found that 42 states and Washington, D.C. have spent around $111 billion of the total $195 billion reserved for them to use. So roughly about half of it has been used up. There's still some remaining funds, but we're hearing out of all of the provisions that were provided, that one has the most remaining. All the other ones have likely been depleted. However, there still is some federal money available for those experiencing hardships, including aid programs that help families pay for food and rent. Now, delays earlier in the year, you'll recall, hammered that relief program, that rental relief program, and we're hearing there's still about $25 billion left in those funds as well. So that one is still available. But some of the most generous government initiatives, from the stimulus checks to the expanded federal unemployment payments, they expired months ago. Those are no longer available. And we're hearing that some Democrats, they have proposed that we continue those on, but it hasn't gotten a whole lot of traction yet in Congress. But in recent days, we're hearing there's calls for a new stimulus package and potentially bringing back those stimulus provisions. And as we mentioned earlier in the video, Jamaal Bowman said that he is going to push to get another package through Congress so that way we can help out Americans at this time. And this is nothing new. We've been hearing this for a couple months now. President Joe Biden and Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi both said we need another stimulus package. And don't worry, whatever passes with the Build Back Better, we want to get another one after it in 2022 that we can have some more stimulus provisions to help out people as we're still battling the pandemic, and even more so now as the Omicron variant is on the spread. So that is the latest, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you feel like we need more stimulus provisions, more stimulus packages, more stimulus checks? Or do you feel like it's time to stop, that this is not going to be as bad as they're leading on, and we've already got an issue with inflation and debt happening in our country right now, and it's time to put a stop to all of these stimulus provisions and legislation? Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I'll be sure to keep you up to date, and there definitely is a stronger push happening right now as Omicron is on the spread. And I will be sure to keep you up to date as more information rolls out. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second, really helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here, you want to stay up to date, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam, totally free, and you'll be a part of the viewing community. I'll keep you up to date on everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Oh, and consider joining that second channel as well, Steve Ram Finance, if you're interested in growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.